Good morning, the 26th of March 2025. The more I think of this uproar in Dail Eireann in the Irish Parliament, the more I try to make some sort of horse sense of it without being a conspiracy theorist as such. Why was Verona Murphy giving the job of Can Corla, an independent Conservative TD? Well, the first thing is she was a woman. Nearly all important jobs have to be given to women. The second thing is, why didn't they pick a Fianna Fáil or a Fine Gael? Remember, the Can Corla has a casting vote, so it wouldn't really put them down too much in the voting, though it was better keep their ordinary TDs as voting TDs on the benches. John McGuinness would have taken the job and Brendan Smith probably would have taken the job. So by taking in an opposition woman, it might have suited them. But the thing about it is that it was commented, and I got a call there from a person who watches the news, that Verona Murphy is not competent for the job. She doesn't have the legal background to read and understand legislation and Dáil rules and all of that. And this will become an issue in the presidential campaign this year for president. So that suited them until Verona Murphy, which she's supposed to facilitate the House. She's not supposed to be political as such. She's supposed to facilitate the business of the House. And they put her an awkward question to start off with, and that question is, what happens where you have three independent, non-party people supporting the government? Should they sit with the government and be subject to questions? Or should they sit on the opposition and not be subject to questions, be the questioners? I mean, Michael Healy-Rae is a junior minister for agriculture. So how is he going to be questioned? Now, I haven't read the rules, but my own interpretation of the rules is that the Healy-Raes and Michael Lowry should sit with the government, particularly if Healy-Rae is a minister, a junior minister. I would have looked at that, and I'd have looked at the jurisprudence of it and all of the constitution and everything, and I would have come down with a very solid ruling, and I'd implement it. And if they objected or if somebody tried to stop me, I'd head to the courts. That's what the people of Cavan Monaghan missed by not voting for me in the last election. So we could have an election quite soon. What must be understood clearly is that there is an agenda to push through an anti-people programme in which the people have no say. And J.D. Vance has pointed to this in Europe. They've found a way to bypass the people's will. And this is it playing out. And the opposition, even though they're mad socialists, some of them communists, see that this is not democratic, that they can't ask a question, and they're kicking up. The right thing for them to do is get their barristers on the job. Isn't there enough of them there to pay for them? And insist on the proper procedure. Micheál Martin doesn't want to be questioned because he's an idiot. Simon Harris doesn't want to be questioned because he's just a tea-boy for Francis Fitzgerald. A Lutheran man. Healy-Rae. They don't want to be questioned. They want a dictatorship. And the word they're getting down from their paymasters and their masters in Europe is, this is how it must be done. There is a war going on at the moment. You could say it's between the left and the right. You could say all sorts of things. But I've always claimed that the political spectrum is like a face of a clock. See it there? You have left and right. But they all meet on the top at tyranny. And they all are at their best at the bottom at 6 o'clock, where this is 12:6, where there's freedom. Good people tend to go free. Conservative people tend to like a bit of freedom and a bit of public representation. Half-decent socialists tend to like it down here as well, where there's a bit of frequency, a bit of freedom. And they don't like it up here. This is tyranny. And in Russia at the moment, you have a kind of this section here. You have a sort of a freedom. But if you complain about Vladimir Putin or complain about the war, they'll give you 20 years in a gulag prison. So here is the tyranny of Putin coming up here. And if there were, in Stalin's period, it was the same. Not to say I'm all against Russia, but it's not a proper free society. So you see the way they converge up here on the 12 o'clock. At the moment, all of them are left-wing. This is a lie that Fine Gael is a Conservative party. It is not. And it's all moving up here towards this tyranny. And when they get to the top here, they'll meet the likes of Hitler, he was a socialist and a right-wing too. They'll meet him here, or Pinochet in South America, or Galtieri. They'll meet these dictators going this way. Franco. So when the left-wingers move to the 12 o'clock, they meet the likes of Franco coming the other way. They're all going to the tyranny. That's 12 o'clock. That's 12 o'clock, folks. So this is what's happening. This is why there's a racket. The government is up here. It's tyrannical. Among the people down here are people who would be half in favour of freedom. And they're whinging that they can't get a say or question the government. And that confirms my theory that the political spectrum is not a bar like this, it's a circle like the face of a clock. Will the government fall? Well, it makes no difference. The gumbeans of voters will vote again, but the thing is, we might be able to pull maybe 4% away from Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael and leave them that they're depending on more and more independence. I think in the next election, I'll go to Blanchardstown and try and put out Roderick O'Gorman, try and get him out, go door to door, scandal him every way I can, truth and lies, anything, put him out. And I think also we'll campaign about something, try and get more independence. The more of them, the better. If we didn't have independence, now look at the mess you'd have. Supposing you had a Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil majority, they'd just rule all over. The few wise voters that stayed away, that didn't vote for Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael in the last election, have handed us, they've struck up a blow for freedom that's caused uproar as the government tries to overcome its effects. My advice to Verona Murphy is get advice on the proper protocol for running the Dáil and running the office of Cancorla. And lay it down and take no prisoners, do it the right way, and then you can hold up your head and say, I was the Cancorla and I went by the rules and I was pushed out. But she doesn't have the acumen, the wisdom to do that. Oh Lord, wouldn't I be the boy that would excel there? I'd have that down to a fine art. But that's life, that's the way it goes. And if they get their way, the war will be on. And now I think, in fairness, the boys, the members of the boys family, boys from Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, they must be put into the trenches. They'll not get their socks off them for 6 months. They'll not have texts. And the Fine Gael mammies and the Fianna Fáil mammies, oh, my lad's out there, they'll be ringing Joe Duffy, oh, he's out there, I haven't heard from him in a month. That's the stuff for yous. Oh, that's what you deserve. And that's what yous are doing by supporting these creeps of Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, whether yous like it or not. That's what yous deserve, and hopefully that's what you'll get. And like I do laugh at people, will I laugh at you? You're not taking anyone belonging to me. And Ursula von der Leyen said that. She was asked, would any of her family go to fight? Oh, no way, she said. Well, we're not going to fight. We'll go into jail and stay in it. We're not fighting Russia for anyone. Good luck, folks. folks. This is the mess of the Dáil. It's great fun to see it. This is what happens when you let the lunatics run the asylum. And the people of Ireland must have an inferiority complex. I've said that before. They feel inferior. There's something wrong with them. It's just sad. Good luck. We'll see you back. Comment underneath. Thank you.